Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing something related to government. All right. No fewer, according to this report, no fewer than 18 outgoing state governors will retire into the lives of luxury with generous pension benefits despite mounting debts and unpaid salaries, workers' salary in their individual states. According to Punch investigations, it showed that many of these governors, that according to the data from the Debt Management Office, debt figure of these states include 2.7 trillion naira domestic loans and $1.7 billion foreign borrowings. Many of these states are in debt. As money you say that everybody owes, government owes, all governments across the world owes. However, Nigerians are more concerned not just so much about the debt, but the fact that workers have been unpaid, yet their governors are retiring to jumbo pensions. What are your thoughts on this? We've discussed it before, but we'd like to hear Nigerians' views on it because these governors, hey, they're good. But those of us that have not been paid in various states are complaining. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. So as I said earlier, you know, many states owing, we've been told several times that owing is not the problem, that you can, as long as you can service your debt. So states will service their debts. But when you don't pay workers' salary, however, the House of Assemblies have had a law where you go home as a living governor, as a living governor, you have lovely jumbo pension that sorts you for life. How do we retrace our steps to ensure that we don't leave people even poorer when you are living as governors? So,
you mentioned earlier that according to the Debt Management Office, the debt figure of the states include 2.27 trillion domestic loans, 1.71 billion foreign borrowing, which tells me that the governors were not even able to generate funds to run their states. They were basically waiting on the federal allocation. The federal government will borrow, they themselves will borrow as a state with the jurisdiction to do so, to be able to pay salaries. Now, if you are someone who is considerate of the office that you have ever held, you will not be thinking of jumbo salaries. So if we have an understanding of what they are going to be getting, it may help us, break it down. So I'm trying to I'll get that. Yes.
While you're getting that data, some of the
let me just address the idea of taking loans and the challenges of living debt. We have an expectation of our leaders, and I think that we don't say it enough. If you are going to aspire for leadership in Nigeria, you're aspiring for a leadership of a country that is challenged. The expectation is not for you to live there rich or live there hoping you'll be sorted for life. The expectation is that you live there better. And if you ask citizens, they are the ones, the citizens of each state will be the ones to be able to tell you if they feel better about their state after they've experienced 4 years or 8 years of a particular governor. And in some cases, they'll tell you, no, it's worse off. And some vote out in 4 years, the administration they felt did not serve them. I think that when we have this, when we say it as it is, we're able to better address the situation. Borrowing money is never the problem. I am pitching tomorrow to borrow money because I need money to grow my business. But if I'm borrowing money, it is not a free fund. It is not money for me to play around with, or as I've been given that responsibility, I must be judicious in how I manage the money. And all our leaders must take responsibility of how they manage the resources given to them, whether it is internally generated or it is a borrowed money. Even the responsibility is higher when you are borrowing the money, because you are putting your states in debt, and yet you are not ensuring that what you have spent that money on is on ground. That's the real problem. That we borrow money for projects and there is no project to show for it.
Right.
That's it.
That's the problem.
Let me quickly read out a few of the things. It said the law guiding pension rights for former governors and deputy governors also states that they will get well-equipped offices after they have left. A governor who successfully completes his term without impeachment will be entitled to a monthly pension equivalent to the current salary of the current governor. So each state will be paying, let's take for instance, Lagos has done 5 or 3 governors. Each state is going to be paying every month 3 governors, and 1 person is sitting and 1 person is working. They're paying for, and 3 other ones have gone, that's 4. From the coffers of the money we say is not enough for us. 2 brand new vehicles to be provided by the state government to be replaced after every 4 years. That's for somebody that has stopped working, they're still changing cars. 6-bedroom, fully furnished house. 2 personal assistants, not below grade level 10. 2 drivers selected by the governor to be paid by the state. A fully furnished office in any location of choice. Fully paid medical treatment within Nigeria and abroad. If this is not clear wickedness, I don't know what is. You have finished your tenure. You're done with the job. You should be paid like a civil servant. The way they wait for their pensions every month, they can put you in the highest level because you served in the highest office. You get paid so that the people who are borrowing money to run the state will focus on what they need to pay for to be able to run the state. So aside from the fact that they are not generating revenue, they are still, you are added, the extra burden is added to what is weighing down the little resources that they have and all the money that they're going to be borrowing. Please, we need to do something about this.
Case dismissed. Just do something about it, really. I guess this is a point where Nigerians need to speak up because we constantly lament and we just need to ask for, we want it to be done differently. So we'll go through the process and make sure that constitutionally this is changed in such a way that it even looks, so that it's just decent. We're happy you served us, you did your job, we will give you what is needed, given the resources that we have, but do not impoverish us even further because you have served us and you go away. So we have constantly talked about the pension, how it looks, but I just want us, I'm just tired of lamenting. We've discussed this so many times, we've said it, but what can we do as Nigerians? What should we start doing as Nigerians so that the next administration puts it down, constitutionally? And then when we're talking another 4 years, we will be celebrating the fact that we have changed that.
So that's really the work for the House of Assembly. And that's why people don't like the rubber stamp House of Assemblies, where it's just whatever the all party vote agreed with you just continue it like that. But it's important for me to state the states that will be the governors that will be getting this lovely package that BC just mentioned. So Governor of Rivers State, Delta State, Akwa Ibom State, Kano, Zamfara, the guy that they said that they're taking the furniture. They are also, remember, they are paying for furniture in your office. They're now taking the old furniture that you used to use again. We have to find out why he's taking that. Then Benaide of Cross River State, we have the Abia State, Ebonyi State, quite a number of them. And then we think all of them. All of them. Autumn, Benue.
Yeah.
So these guys are also going to be getting this largest pension.
It's sad because it does not matter how well you did or how poorly you did. You will still be rewarded.
It's
not merit-based.
It's just position-based.
So what we're saying...
I have gotten to this place, I will get this. It's not that there's a merit. And even becoming a governor is not really a merit-based thing. It's about your ability to convince people per time. But here is another thing I think we should make constitutional. I know some states, we've discussed it a few times, that if you are serving after being a governor in any other capacity within the country, that means you're earning salary maybe as a minister or as a senator or wherever you are serving, you are not allowed to still collect your entitlement as the governor because it is still the federal, it's still the country's resources and it's still the people paying you twice. So if we can make that constitutional, because what we see is a retirement benefit from the state and then everybody goes into Senate. We have 7 governors former governors that are now in the Senate, and they shouldn't be entitled to get a new car because the federal government is still buying them a new car as senators. These are ways for us to manage our expenses. Then we can then talk about the fact that the House of Assembly were also trying to fight for themselves to get something after they finish service. And they'll feel like if the governors are only doing 8 terms, some of us in the House of Assembly have done 12 years making the laws. Why are we not getting something as well? Because we have a fundamental problem as a country where we see Nigeria as a cake for everybody to share. So that is the real fundamental problem.
So there are conversations like states that are generating funds, that are actually making money, and they're not owing salaries. Some will say, those ones, I'm paying my salaries, my workers are not having issues. We can choose to have a jumbo pension for our law, passing governors and lawmakers.
Do they have debts?
So no, debt, as I said, everybody has a debt. Everybody, companies, biggest companies in the world, biggest countries in the world will continue to have debt. As long as you're servicing your debt, most of these countries and states are servicing their debt. It's when you're not servicing your debt, like Nigeria is having trouble generating revenue. It's when you're not properly servicing your debt, you have a problem. But once you are religiously servicing your debt, debt is going to be everybody's going to have debt.
Yeah.
So the truth is that states are arguing and having that debate that, listen, should we have those states who are generating to have their law as they choose? And how do we even influence them? Is it from the top? Because House of Assembly is different from the National Assembly. The National Assembly says, you know what, no jumbo salaries for all our lawmakers. Hopefully that will influence the House of Assembly lawmakers.
There has to be something that is basic that cuts across the whole country, right? And then I guess to some extent, states would now have to come up with policies that would reflect their own, you know, their own states, the funds that they have, their own realities. Thank you. So we have some states that are rich in some resources, and because of that, those states will definitely get more. And if you're a governor or if you serve their state in some capacity, it should reflect, and that should be like the perks of working for a state like that. If you're serving a state that they're struggling, things are hard, there's hardly water, they have drought, it should reflect. Sure. You are serving the people. You will not come and then have much more than the state has, acquire much more than the state can even give you. If you have a problem with that, you cannot sit down in one state and be pointing to Rivers State and saying, but the governor is going away with this, going away with that. When he was governor, or all the governors before that, the work that they put in to make sure that their state is rich, to make sure that their state is generating revenue, paying workers, doing all those things, you cannot compare yourself with them. But I feel that there should be something that's basic that you get, but that one should also reflect the realities of Nigeria. We cannot have billionaires from just being a governor. Meanwhile, the real billionaires are working hard, not sleeping, and then you, just because you have gotten into office, you sign some papers, and then you're a billionaire. It's so unfair and so wrong.
Alhaji Subran, I come to UBC. Alhaji Subran, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Thank you. Yes, straight to the point. You see, this issue, there's no two ways about it. It is like mortgaging the state. It's like mortgaging the state. You understand? You see, look, compare the length of time the governor served. Their period of service for the state is 4 years. You now see a civil servant that has served for 35 years, having difficulty to collect his pension. You see, it's a problem, and that is what we continue to say. Democracy, the way we run democracy in this country, is too atrocious. It is not only the governor. The same thing with the National Assembly. If you see the salary compared with international world, Nigeria is spending too much on democracy. And look at the governor you talk about. Is this same governor when they are governor of the state, they'll be taking security allowance up to a lot of millions. You understand? That one is there. You understand? So, you see, and when you look at it, most of them from leaving the governor, they migrate to the Senate. Then who is going to bail us out? They will not even bring the law that will eradicate that, because they are the people, they are the composition of ex-governors in the House, in the Senate, in the House of Assembly. So it's a... Thank you,
Alhaji Subran. That's a vicious circle. So thank you.
I personally don't believe in jumbo salaries, jumbo pensions for serving for just 4 years or 8 years. I think it's wasteful. I think it's inconsiderate to the nation you find yourself. There's nothing wrong in saving up that money and lending to other states and other nations. There's nothing wrong in that. We don't have to share all our profits because the state is now making revenue, and then we are putting people who just served for 4 years and 8 years on for the rest of their life. They are sorted. We can work on those profits. We can become something from having enough in our reserves. There's nothing wrong in that. We can become a very wealthy state with enough, what do you call it, resources, human capital, enough, what's this naira now, dollars. Enough, we can. Any state who is doing so much can have enough. That's what they call a time for boom and plenty, where you save. If those of you people that read your Bible, you see how Joseph did it when he went to Egypt. There was a time of plenty. And what did he do? Was he now dashing people and saying, okay, because you have served me, or you carry all the grain in this storehouse and make it your family property? No, he was storing it up, because the way life is, times will, go up. There are always ups and downs, right? There are always seasons. If you have enough reserve and something hits, see how COVID-19 happened and a lot of people were displaced from their job. That is the time a state is stepping in to help their citizens to become, so that they relieve them of all of that. We don't have that plan. The way I see how we operate, and this is not just government, the typical Nigerian likes to eat with two hands. We don't know how to plan for the future. And I know that people would say, live like you are going to die tomorrow, but plan like you are going to live the next 100 years. Right. We should be looking at that. So that jumbo salaries or whatever they call it, that they are going to be pensions, that they don't need it. And that's why I say everyone who wants to be a leader should be a professional. You should have your handwork. When you are done with service, you go back to your handwork. If I choose to become a commissioner now or a governor tomorrow, when I'm done, I go back to either TV or I go back to being a life coach. No, they will not go. You're going to start now. I will establish. I would have established a company.
Let me take a call. Kelechi, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let me briefly chip in. I'll ask what BT said. You see, this thing she said was very, very correct on other views of your lady. See, this thing can it's a very simple thing. Hello? Can you hear me?
The volume is low. Maybe it's not from you, from our studio, but go ahead.
Okay. What I'm saying is this thing your lady, it seems you're not hearing.
We can hear you.
We can hear you, but it's a little low. Maybe our studio guys can help us increase the volume.
Okay. What I'm saying is very simple. You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. The views of your ladies are good. And those things, those are not of things. These things can be achievable in a system, in a country where the system works. I remember that he said something. He said, I can get these things done because I work in the United States where the system works. That's why some people are that's why some people are calling for sovereign national conference where we can discuss Nigeria.
We've done this already now. Cycles.
They don't implement.
Thank you, Kelechi.
There's something that Mariam said that I feel like, it's very important. And I'll just rephrase it this way. We state reflective pay.
Yeah.
And situational reflective pay. So maybe at some point in time, your state could afford to pay you pension. But if your state is borrowing money to pay basic salary and they cannot afford to meet the bills within the state, then there must be an adjustment. Not that we'll now say we are owing the governor's salary for the past 3 years because the state was impoverished, so we'll not still pay it in future. No, it is based on what the economy is now. Right. So, that's adjustable rates should also affect what is being paid. Exactly. Not that it's static.
So focus on the economic realities
on ground. And I think that I had a conversation even with my staff on Monday, and I said, if you do a complete week and you are holding a business line and you did not close any sale, so what is the use of that week? What's the use of the week? So you must challenge yourself, like, how am I contributing? If I have been a governor for 4 years and what I'm living is debt, how have you contributed? So we must keep on challenging ourselves and asking that question. And I'm praying for our new governors to do better.
Rachel from Ikeja, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, lady.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning. On this jumbo salary, or what is it? I take it as a subsidy. Yes. That needs to go.
Yes.
Because we are subsidizing life of people that are living the future. Yeah. So it must go, or it should be reduced. Because it doesn't make sense if the state needs money and then we are doing this huge jumbo salary. No. It should go. It's part of the subsidy that must go. Thank you.
Thank you. So let me come to Mariam for a second, because there's something I don't want to forget. Companies, when they make surplus revenue, some of them review their salaries, even for their owners. They get, what's that thing they called, where you get bonus.
Bonuses.
Thank you.
Yes.
You get bonuses because you are making money. And the more money you're making, you're able to pay more bonuses. But once your bonuses, once the revenue is reducing, you adjust. So that's what we're saying, that in certain states, if you're like, I'm making money, I can actually afford it, but if we look at the economic realities and say, okay, this time around, we're not making as much money, how do we ensure that review is done?
And it's not that you're now making bonuses now as a state government, and then the only people that will enjoy it, or you're making money and the only people that will enjoy the bonus are the leaders. That means everyone in the state will get something, and whatever is left, you get out of it. The problem with us is just that we're greedy. And we're greedy in such a way that we have to be the only ones that even enjoy or benefit from the largesse that comes in. So we may even have periods where, you know, the state has put some policies on the ground. We've done this, we've tightened our belt for 4 years or for 8 years. 16 years later, the state is doing well. They can afford to increase salaries, but we don't increase those salaries. We don't put them more towards education or towards our health. We're thinking of the big man or the big woman that, you know, needs even a bigger house or needs even more cars. That's the problem. We need to look at this country like, you know, like a home for every governor. Like, this is my home with the people in this home also need to enjoy from it. Their success should be my success. Leaders should be able to base, you know, their achievements on how they have truly impacted the lives of the citizens, not just their pockets and their families' pockets.
Let me just quickly mention something our guest on Monday spoke about, that even if they cut the salary, the real corruption isn't the real money Nigeria is losing is not in the salary we're paying our politicians, but in the kickback that has become a culture within our environment. So
An overinflated
contract based on the fact that people want to get kickback. So if those are the areas we need to deal with. If a governor knows that I'm judiciously spending this money, I want to help my people, but you realize it's not trickling down, then you will start following the money so that you will know who is sabotaging your wonderful.
I have to wrap up because we have 30 seconds left. But let me end with this tweet. Says that jumbo salary packages for ex-governors is wrong totally. Civil servants that served 35 years got nothing except permanent salary. So according to him, because of that, 35 years of service compared to 8 years is totally unfair.
That's why they're killing ourselves to be politicians.
We are queuing to collect money. It's not like after the 35 years, the money will just be coming. We queue. Some people have died.
Yes, waiting.
Get their pensions.
Me, I was even thinking,
let's be human.
See these governors that get 2 houses, 3 houses, cars and everything. Let's decide, you will get this money, but we'll build a factory for you. And you will employ people. And this would be a money-generating thing that we're doing, but not that we're giving you house and
ideas. I like it. We have to run. That is all.
Not for them to manage. We'll manage.
All we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Thanks for staying with us. So on Wednesdays, we also like to celebrate women who are doing great things. And we found this lady. She's the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Funmilayo Nigeria Limited, a certified mechanical engineer with the Member of Council for the Regulations of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN. Her glittering record of achievement in engineering profession in Nigeria has catapulted her to stardom. Since realizing her dream of affecting humanity on a large scale, she has never looked back in a quest to better the society, especially in different areas of engineering. Please welcome with us Dr. Engineer, Dr. Mrs. Funmilayo Adekojo in the building. Welcome. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
When women shine like that, we always like to just, feature them sometimes on the show just to remind ourselves that we can achieve, in the midst of it all, we can still become something. You're an engineer.
Yeah, I am.
And do you mind if I mention your age? below 40.
Yeah, I'm just
You're an engineer below 40, and that's a big deal, you know.
just
And
did my
you feel
best.
like an efiko. You just did about book, sha.
I'm May 27. I just
Okay.
got 40.
Oh, you just turned 40. Hey, happy birthday.
May 27th.
The 27th, yeah, just last week.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're really happy to have you on the show as an engineer. Give us a bit of your story, the journey, because I know that in the early days you used to work in government, you were in Oyo State, before then you're in Jigawa State, and then you gradually grew your career. Tell us a bit about how you started and how you then ended up in this level.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. Just like every other go-getters out there, I am Funmilayo Adekojo,
Okay.
popularly known as Fumi Ayinke. I'm married, 4 kids. And,
Just like me, high five!
Yay!
You got 4 kids.
So, I finished, I read mechanical engineering.
Right.
I finished from Madeka Akitola University of Technology.
Nice.
And then I went to Jigawa State to have my NYSA. And even though I spent 9 months before I redeployed back to Ogun State. And after NYSA, I got married, like every other girl out there. But there's something I know that is unique about me. I'm a product of my mom, you know. Like a Moya Tisha, that has been my slogan. And I told myself, I said, if there's anything I'm going to do ever, is when my mom looked at me and said, thank you, I didn't give up on her as a girl child. Like that has been like, okay. So I just defined my life. I told myself I'm going to have my kids, like giving them the value that I want to give them before I pick a government job. So they can go through the 6-month exclusive, and all that. So that was what I started with that. I got the first pregnancy. But I don't want to just be stereotyped at home like a full housewife. So I decided to do something unique, like creating a company. I call it Adefum Investment.
Okay.
Where Adefum is like Adekojo and Funmilayo Dare. I just like, okay, so I was just into maintenances of fuel stations, running the lines for them. I put a kerosene, I have a big tank where I take kerosene from Bovas, that's Lagos. I put it down to where I was at that time in Ibadan. Then it was a unique one. I was targeting those widows, those mothers are training their kids, just like my mother was training me, and then that needed help. So I really went around, I looked at them, I said, if you need to sell kerosene, you come to me, you get it on loan.
Oh, wow.
You go and sell, you come back, and then that was how I was doing my kerosene. So that made my kind of style to be so different. I became popular. People don't really know I went to school. They were tagging me as, yeah, you're only kerosene. like got my first child inside about me. So that was it.
Yeah, let me get a
Yes.
question for you.
But also, you know, that you're an engineer. And, you know, many times when we hear engineers, we think of men.
STEM
But then
business.
here you are, or women who maybe had to give up marriage or building a family. But here you are, you seem to have done it all. How has your journey been in your career path?
Yeah, engineering world is an interesting world. Even though we have a few women in engineering, and I want to say kudos to every woman out there who are actually practicing engineering. Yeah, I am one of them that's making them proud. I got into the profession as a mechanical engineer. I work with government. In fact, I served very well at the Federal University of Agriculture as the head of mechanical unit. You know, we have a lot of about 110 staff under me, though. Like to maintenances, facility maintenances, and all that. But I was not too satisfied. Like something crying for more in me. Like I said, okay, I want to add values. I want to create something in the engineering world. And I have an understanding as one a professor, also a mechanical engineer in Tamufluid, you know. I was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to create my firm. I've done it before, you know, even though I was nursing my baby at that time. But let me do this again after 6-7 years with government. And he approved it. So I just created my office, Funmilayo Adekojo Nigeria Limited. Nice. I started in Abeokuta. And then only me at that time, I was the secretary, I was the everything. But I just believe in myself.
Yes.
I believe that nothing fails in the hands of a woman. Once I'm a woman, I can do it.
For real?
Yeah, that's it. That's my, that's it.
I like
Powerful
that.
mindset.
That's it. I told myself I can do it.
Wow.
So after 3 months, I employed 2 staff. I got the first job. Like, oh, engaged him as a consultant. You know, I didn't stop at that. I now quickly went and I did this exam, project management professional. I passed, so I became PMP certified. In the course of that, I became a fellow of Nigerian Institute of Engineer, fellow of Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineer. And as a fellow,
grade 1.
as a fellow, that's the peak. So I said, okay, I'm now a voice to the girl child. Let them see that you can be married, you can have a career, and you can still function.
Oh, I love that.
Let me talk about that, the being a voice. Let me talk about your. Let me ask you about how you got into the your philanthropy. How you said the empowerment projects you've done, the reach that project has had, and the impact in the lives of people so far.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I have 3 boys and a girl. They say you like girl child. Yeah, I'm an advocate of a girl child.
3 boys and a girl.
Yeah, because my mom really made me believe in myself. I look at what God has done for me. In the course of 5 years now of my company, I have 35 professionals under me, like I paid for every month. And I said something that, okay, how do I tell God thank you? How do I say, God, for the journey so far, you've been amazing. I said, I'm going to pick every girl child out there, I mean, within my capacity, that I can add values to their life. When I was in search for a girl child, I said, okay, let's start with the widows. People, people that actually remind of my mom. And because of interacting with those widows, I realized that some of them have a girl child at home. They prefer the boys to go to school first.
Right.
When the boy made it, to now come and train the sister, I was so annoyed in my spirit. So that was how I put up Funmilayo Humanity Foundation, where I have, in fact, I've lost count of the girl child.
One of the intriguing parts of your story, which I love, is the fact that your mom was a single mother for a while. Yeah. And we don't get a lot of successful stories of single motherhood. They're out there, but people don't tell those stories. Want to make it look like once you're a widow, once you leave your husband, you're done. There's nothing that nothing good can come out of it. Yeah. But I'm happy to see that your mother produced this, raised you.
3 of us.
3 of you, and you're probably all successful. Yeah, so she was a single mother that did. So give us an insight into your growing up without your father, how it was to be by yourself, the struggles you guys went through, to your mother went through especially.
Oh my God, that would be a lot. I would be so brief. I would just put some touching story. I'll pick to this. My mom retired as a headmistress, a teacher. Yeah. But the only thing I could pick every day in my mind is this cooperative money. I'm a product of cooperative. Cooperative, like you want to buy something, your mom quickly run to cooperative to quickly get it, and then you manage yourself and you're back to school. Yeah. I remember those days, your provision bag will be so full, Gary, with Bonvita and Milo, and your provision, you're already in school. But there's something my mom taught me. She refused to remarry. She said for me, you're the husband, and you never call me. Wow. Like, you are my husband, and I always promise, I say, Mom, don't worry. One day, everybody that mock you will come back to you. And I was so happy the first time I've built house for my mother, And I was so happy when I did that. I said, Mom, show the world that every mother out there who is responsible enough to know that your kids are your priority and not just giving excuses not to train them, they will definitely hit the fruit of their labor.
Amen.
That is making me teary.
That's it. That's
making me teary because
such a blessing.
You are, and I'm going to call Mariam too can also relate. But you see, what I find also touching is that, okay, let me just go to Mariam because I don't want to break down. But go ahead, Mariam. Let me let you jump
Yes, for me too, for a long time, my mom widowed and she raised us both, And when I hear people who were in a similar situation and hear the success story, it just makes me proud of Nigerian mothers. Our mothers are doing amazing. And I think that because you were raised with so much kindness, that's why it's easy for you to give out kindness. You're going out and you're helping another girl child, giving her an opportunity. In your work with helping, the less privileged, what would you like to see us do differently?
As a society?
Because it's true, people need help, but sometimes I also feel like sometimes we're just waiting or depending on that help. Are we even appreciating this help and, catching it and running with it? Well,
being an humanitarian person is a calling. Sincerely, it's not easy to do in this part of the world called Nigeria. We have a lot of ungrateful people. You pick them, you train them, they still come back and hurt you back. But there is this passion when you're an humanitarian. It is like a sacrificial living. you don't even expect anything from them.
Yes.
The day I defined it that I don't need anything back from these kids, that was the day I got it right. Then I actually got over the emotional aspect of it. That is just the truth. That's it.
Well, one part that I also love about your story is that you're wholly Nigerian. Like, wholly. You're raised and trained here. You know, people feel as if until you go abroad, you have to go international this and do international that before you can actually be successful in this country. But Minister Fashola, before he used to try to remind us all the time that I am fully Nigerian trained here. You can actually be successful. Yes, Nigeria is hard for a lot of people, but some of us can struggle, and you struggled. Tell me about the way when you are sitting at the table with people who seem to, you know, they've achieved a few things, but do you still feel insecure that I didn't get my first degree in the US, I didn't go to London, I didn't do the chemical, London, you know those, I don't have, do you ever get that? That feeling?
Okay. I will start with this very fact. I love the fact that I just came back from UK like 6 days ago. Yeah, before my birthday. I don't know if I calculated right now. A day to my birthday, I came back. And I went through back an award, national award. The United Kingdom gave me an award. And it was really the worldwide award where I have Switzerland, America, Canada, everybody seated.
Yes.
And I think I was only Nigerian. Okay, myself, I'm Minister of Science and Tech, whatever. And when I was my time to talk, if you see them clapping, because each time I'm in the middle of all these international people, I see myself as I'm too superior. I have all the experience, both the good and the bad.
Just a Nigerian.
Like, I am superior. You know, when you don't have...
I'm superior.
You know, when you don't have the other side of, like, you're not complete. You don't even know how to address this issue. So I can balance, like, I can tell them, proud of myself, put my shoulder on high, that, you don't see what I saw, but I am here with you guys.
Hallelujah.
So that makes me superior, and that's it.
Oh, I love it.
That's so sweet
That's
to
it.
hear, you know, and I really love how you're telling your story, because one of the things I love about the show is that we're able to give people perspective, and what we need more perspective in life. I'd like you to talk about marriage, you know. What was the role of your husband in your journey? And I'd like you to help us address those that have supportive and not supportive. So I don't know where you stand, but I'd like you to help us in talking about where your experience with your partner was. How did you manage that relationship, and how would you advise we manage that kind of relationship?
Oh, thank you very much. I love that, because a lot of people believe that if you're a career woman, you cannot keep your home. That's the general thing that people believe, and then that's one of the things I'm trying to correct now. Majorly, what you need to do as a woman, every woman must be a career woman. Believe me, it is not so called housewife. It is rubbish. I don't know if that stand is there or not.
I'm aspiring to be one.
No, it is rubbish, sincerely. Because what your hand finds to do is what you are. And then if you are home, your life will just be nobody, because that is what you see, the wall of the house every day. You are not there.
Right.
So, and every man out there wants a woman that they can come back home with and share ideas with, that can even add values to their life. So if you are the one that over-loving woman who want to stay at home, there's nothing to add to that man, believe me. You are not there. So I will talk to the career women out there who are really responsible, that they want to do this and they love their kids. This is what I want to address. Make your husband your best friend. I think what really helped me is my husband. I get him involved in most of my activities. If it's chance, I will tell you, do you have time to attend this occasion? I will be there. Imagine me adding music artists to my life. You can imagine how crazy I could be. So it means that I tell you just be my friend, be in it. Every journey, we discuss it before I even make it opened. I do most of the things I've achieved. It took me some time to still take approval from the house. So during the approving process, you're trying to ask for approval. Don't announce. Make sure you have wrapped him.
Inside.
See, I need to say this. Men are our babies. You define where you want them to fit into your life.
Some men, no, trust me, it's not men that are babies.
I'm not talking
That's
about
a conversation for another. Don't worry, we'll bring you back on a Thursday to discuss and discuss that.
But when it comes to them listening to you, loving what you do, every man wants to be proud of a successful woman.
Majority.
But when you don't take your man along and you now make whatever you had to make you become the superior at home, you've mixed it.
We have to wrap up with you. But
Yes, I know you have a talent hunt program.
Yeah.
Please, well, how does that work? And people are winning cash, like...
Okay, I'll just quickly say that. I don't know, some pastors don't like this, but I need to say, I put my tithes into humanitarian accounts. Because some of our churches are very rich. They are very rich, and a lot of people attend their churches poor. I said, okay, I will help them to help their members.
Okay.
So each time I gather some of my tithes, like 3, 4, 5 months, I just come out there and say, okay, talent hunt. 5 for 8,000 to empower 10 people. And do you know today, I am like a chairman to a lot of companies. I don't know that happen, but
You funded the businesses.
even some farmers in the north, they would just call me, the tomato is ready, we are sending you from, I was like, oh, really? That money could do this?
See how you have used your tithe.
So your tithe was used?
Yeah, so I actually put it in a Gusau, like,
Yes.
yeah,
That's another conversation.
That's a huge
bringing you back because that one too can be discussed. Because they said we should use this money we want, not all day, but we will discuss it another day.
But she's using it well.
I mean, but that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hear you have a music career.
Yeah.
yeah, I have.
After all the engineering, London, abroad, and Kiniko Award, you are still singing.
Yeah, I sing. I have album, I have EP. I've been to O2 Arena to perform.
What?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube. People are for me crazy. I say, yeah, I made it. Yeah, I did.
Please, what did your mom cook for you when she was
I'm telling you,
what she puts together?
Give me courage.
Oh.
She gave me courage. I can do anything.
oh my Lord, I love that.
Yeah. And every day I had that saying that nothing feels enough of a woman, so nothing can feel in my hand.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
man, we got to bring you back.
I love you. Goosebumps.
I love it. I
So-
love it.
so
Absolutely
that's
love it.
it.
I'm saying I'm so happy that we spoke to you.
Thank you.
I've never met you
I'm
before,
sure
but I'm
we've
so
gotten
excited that
something,
with
yeah.
this now we know you. We love success stories. We love holy Nigerian brands who are proudly Nigerian, and because we believe this country. We are very optimistic about this country, and we love it when great people like you come out of here and you still succeed. And congratulations to your mother and all your siblings and your children, your 4 kids. I mean, thank you so much, madam, for
Thanks for
joining us.
having
Pleasure.
me. Thank you.
Let's go on a break now. We come back, try to squeeze in one more topic, hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So one of the high points of the last elections is that at least 12 governors didn't return back to their offices as we usually see happening in previous elections. Now, as some of them are leaving, they're moving on, they're also moving out with a lot of furniture from their offices. We have an article that was pinpointing Governor Matawalle of Zamfara State, how he allegedly, or his boys allegedly, looted the liaison office with all the furniture they had in that office. We've also seen various videos of lawmakers from different states removing furniture, refrigerators, various office items away from offices as they were leaving, because obviously there are going to be new lawmakers, new governors coming in. Now, what could be the cause of this? Because many Nigerians have always talked about reducing the cost of governance. How do we ensure that we manage our resources? But when you see lawmakers or governors moving out with so much furniture, you beg to think, okay, that means we have to replace this with money. Why does this happen, do you think? Do you think it's right for these governors or these people to remove these furnitures, or do you think there should be a proper provision for this, or are they supposed to even give it to them continuously? Once you become a lawmaker, you get this furniture permanently, it's yours. I mean, how does this really work? That's the conversation I want to have this morning. Hopefully we can get some insights from a few people who can call in this morning. You can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweets. So, ladies, we saw a lot of these pictures. I mean, right now, it's unfair to really focus on only Zamfara because that's the video that is trending. But I know it's not only Zamfara. There are so many other lawmakers and even governors who this is happening, where they are leaving office and they're carrying their furniture, water dispenser, they're carrying electricity, the light, they're carrying the bulbs. I mean, we saw videos of people carrying tables, saying, So, what do you think? How does this interpret to you when you see these kind of things happen?
Well, according to the article that we have, because we will talk about Zamfara because the Zamfara state governor is speaking out.
Yeah.
And he's been very vocal. And it might also be because he's from PDP to APC.
Yeah.
But he's saying that the previous governor, Matawalle, left with 17 vehicles, you know, said that he left empty treasury as well as empty state house, like took everything out of the place. But it's not the first time we're hearing it. Like, this is not the first time. Every time there's a change in administration, we have this kind of things happen where the new person coming into power has to buy a new set of items. Some people will say it's the way we've always done things and that there's no law against it. So you cannot call it a crime. But then, Mariah, like you said, we the people, we know that the cost of governance is high. What could we have done better? So that's where I'll start. That's how I would like to address it. One, we have a very sentimental and spiritual community where we believe that if I enter a new place, the previous person might not have wished me well, and they could have done charms, jazz within the place. I won't sit on the chair. I would not sleep on the bed. So the governor might be doing the state a favor by moving those things out ahead before the new governor would burn it up. They might say there's something spiritual about it. We want to burn it up or want to throw it outside or discard it in a weird way. I'm just being sarcastic about it, but we really need to. We really need to understand the fact that those are some of the little things that are happening. Of course, it's different from those that want to just take it away because they want to.
I know that she's I know that she's also being funny, because if I were a governor or a former governor and I'd put all those charms and jazz, why would I now move it out? I will keep it so that you can come and lay on it. It's because there's nothing.
The guy is one removing it now.
But he's not the new guy removing it. He's the old guy removing it, because it's not about charms and jazz. It's that we just like to take and take and take. That's what we do. It's government property, no be your father property. You know, there's a way we address government things. It's not for your father. If you are the sort of person that is even insisting that you should do it the right way, like, is it your father's office? Is it your father's fridge? You know, it's for everybody. This is part of what I can get. And it's, you know what is even more, what is funny, but it shouldn't be, is that these are people we feel that they have stayed in the most, yes, you have amassed so much wealth from your office. You know, there's so many benefits in the 4 or 5, 8 years that you've been in office that comes to you and your family. And then just to keep the rugs and the TVs so that it's working for the next person that will come. We're not spending money again to buy these things. Whether we like it or not, it may seem like a small amount of money, but these things add up. To do it every 4 years or every 8 years, it makes no sense. These things should, you know, take you for a long time. And it's just because we have no respect, really, for our people. And also, I think it just means that we need to put something down in the Constitution that would state, see, I said it, when some of them did not show up for swearing in, I said we have to put something that mandates them to show up. Secondly, before, you know, because when they leave, they are hoping to get their pension, hoping to get all the benefits that comes from being out. If we, what I would like to do is audit it. What I would advise is we audit it. We remove the money for fridge that you took away, the money for 70 vehicles that you took away. Then maybe when you realize there's nothing left for you for your pensions or gratuity, then you behave better. But it's just wrong. It sends the wrong message.
Let me come to you, BC, because when we always assume that they have amassed wealth, maybe they haven't. Some governors will tell you, you know what, I didn't make any money in this office. I tried. I mean, but unfortunately, I lost money. I used a lot of my own resources for things. So maybe they're just taking the best they can take right now because they don't have anything really shored up as we think.
See your face.
I was saying, Yimu. Who are they telling that one? No, of course, not me. I just feel that we take advantage of loopholes. And that's with human nature. Anywhere in the world where there are no proper rules and guidelines, they will say where there is no law, there is no sin. You know, you can do anything and get away with it as long as there's no law prohibiting you from doing that. Nobody can come and now start judging you. What would they judge you based on, right? So that is what is happening. We need a system that puts things in proper perspective. So if you are elected into an office, the government, first of all, will provide everything that is needed to run that office. The seats, the table, however you meet it there, it is not your job to change it. If you don't like the seats, then give the job to somebody who would manage the seats. This is what the government can afford. We would decide to change the seats every 10 years or every 20 years, but this is what we have. You don't sleep in the office. It doesn't have to be very comfortable for you. That's why sometimes when they are supposed to be having meetings, they are dozing off because it's too comfortable. If the seat is, yes, if the seat is
This is looking for office, so I'll see how comfortable your office is. Are you not looking for office right now? We'll see how I'll come and see it, and I'll be telling you, don't be comfortable.
My own personal money now. If I'm going to government office, you give me an appointment. I'm not going there to be changing seats. That's not what I'm there to do. I do my work and I get out so that I can focus. I know that maybe there's chinch I used to bite in the chair. I will hurry up with my work and leave and go home. I have a home. I have an apartment. I have a house. Why do we want to make everything so easy and so seamless and so luxurious to be able to do our job? No, that's where it comes from, because some people will say that they bought the seats themselves because they did not like the fitting. They did not like this. They bought the fridge themselves because the fridge is probably not working properly. It's not chilling there. Are you there to drink chilled drinks? You are there to make policy. I beg you are there to do jobs, please. Let us focus on your priorities, first of all, so that we don't have all of this. Now, if government provides the basics, every office is supposed to have a form of basic, right? Your table, your chair, your air conditioner, the rug or the carpet. The other things are luxury. Some people have as much as television in their office.
Okay,
What are you doing with television in your office?
Wait, I get that. I get that point, and I get that mentality. And I used to have that mentality until we had Andrew Hallen, the MD of TVC. When he came in, we had the basics like this. It's just an office, a TV station, right? Just come in, do your work, and go. Nobody's there. When he came in, he started planting flowers. I started changing, painting, and we're thinking, if I go to the walls in TVC, he's putting all these motivational things. I'm thinking, Ross, what's all this? We didn't get it as Nigerians. Why are you investing so much? But you know something he does? It actually motivates you. It inspires you. You come into a place, you see the lovely landscape, and you're thinking, wow, this is an office. This is a real media station. But it's not let's all just do it, Shah. We're here to work. I'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll take your view. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So, to give us more clarity on the conversation that is happening concerning the former governor of Zamfara State, we're going to have with us right now Mrs. Suleiman Bala Idris, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Zamfara State. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, good to have you on the show. Please, could you give us a bit more clarity on this report that we're referencing today about the fact that the former governor allegedly looted the liaison office of all its properties?
Yes. First of all, before the issue of the liaison office in Abuja, there's the issue of official vehicles. We took over a government and we uncovered that there is no single official vehicle in the government house. At the moment, the governor is using his personal car because there are no vehicles for the governor, for the office of the deputy governor, and any other office in the government house. The governor and his people took over all official vehicles from the government house. So what we uncovered this weekend in the liaison office is that there is nothing left in the place, including furniture, television sets, and other valuables. So the video, we did a video,
right,
and sent it to the press.
Yes,
okay.
We did a video and sent it to the press.
Right.
So I have a question. Please,
Yes.
do you have any picture or video of
What it
how
looked like.
this particular liaison office looked like before you took over? Is there any picture or video of the things that were inside that?
Yes, there are pictures because the government used to receive the guests in the liaison office. Most of these ambassadors and other guests, the former governor used to receive them in the liaison office.
Right.
We had pictures and videos of the before and after of the liaison office.
Okay. So for me now, you know, this is begging the question, like, how is handover done? Like, how are handovers done? What is the process? And was he unwilling to properly hand over to the new governor?
Well, I think maybe due to the mess the previous administration did, that was the reason why the governor was not available on the day of the handover.
Yes.
He sent his deputy, and the deputy presented the document of the handover.
Okay, that's swearing in. I was just...
I guess what Miriam was trying to find out is that
before the swearing in, there's supposed to be like a handover process. So you get documents.
Exactly. That is what I'm trying to shed more light.
Okay. All right. So
there was handover. They gave us documents. But the document, it was from the document that we realized that funds were released for these vehicles, official vehicles.
Government funds.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just.
Vehicles,
Well, I'm really
including armored vehicles.
Okay.
Hillocks for the security, and there is nothing. They looted everything.
Okay, Mr. Idris, help me understand, because when a governor just leaves with 17 vehicles, is there some kind of a law that can be, that we can, is there any existing law stopping this? Because I don't want to believe that he will just take it without some kind of repercussions.
No, I don't think there is any law. I'm not a lawyer, but I know definitely what they did is wrong. Because purposely,
there's something wrong with it.
What he did, when he came, when he took over in 2019, the former governor. Hello?
We're having a bit of difficulty hearing you properly. I think BC has a question for you.
I wanted to ask, is there any way you can seek redress, or it will just be lamenting and then moving on to purchasing the furnitures you need?
No. We are taking necessary steps, measures, to see how we will be able to recover all these looted vehicles, and all the people responsible.
Thank you very much. I have to let you go. We're having really trouble hearing you properly, but thank you so much for shedding a bit of light on that. I wanted to get a bit of clarity on what the plans are for this governor. Is he going to buy new furniture, or is he going to insist on demand?
Yeah, but they say he says he's taking it. They're taking it further. They want to find a way to.
Okay, because I didn't get that part.
Yeah. Well, you know, with that, it may take much longer to just. But in the meantime, they need vehicles. They need
chairs. They need the hair. But I wanted to just finish up what we're saying before we left. You mentioned your CEO when he came in, and how he decorated the whole place, beautiful. Now, when he's leaving, he's going to uproot the flowers and go. No, that's the difference. So if you come in, I remember as a classroom teacher, you get a class, right? They provide you the basic materials. But we wanted to take it a notch higher. We want to get the very fancy cardboard. We want to do that. We use our personal funds to do it.
Right.
When you're leaving, I'm not going to be harassing the students to give me the ones I used for them. Or you can choose to put some decorative flowers in your class. Just make your class look beautiful. When you're leaving, you're leaving. It's goodwill. It's you supporting the system.
You can carry your flower with you if you choose to. You need a flower in your house.
If you bring a receipt when you're bringing the flower, then you can carry it. There's a law for that. That's what I'm saying. There must be a system that, okay, I don't want to give this as donation to the government office because they did not pay me for that. I'm bringing my personal effects. You will record the personal effects you're bringing in. You would sign a paper so that when you are going, it's only your personal effects you're going with. Nobody will stop you from going with your personal effects. But in this case, we hear that it's government provided. They had used government funds to, furnish all of those things.
We don't know.
So anybody who says that is not government, at least we saw in the pictures, the nation had pictures of people with they rolled the rug from the state assembly, I mean Federal House of Assembly, with fridge, chairs, shelves, cupboards, like even picture frame of like, so I can understand that some of those items are funded personally. I think that to encourage and strengthen our democracy, if you paid for it personally, just get on Twitter and publish your receipt to say, I paid for it personally and I submitted it. Sometimes you feel like I shouldn't have to do that, but if you are truly a Democrat, you are truly someone who wants to serve people, you will go above board to set the right example. That is me wanting to be optimistic and believe that some of these politicians really want to serve.
It's easier said than done.
Post it.
When I was working here in my office, I had a table and chair. There are a few things I bought in myself with my own money. Yeah. When I was leaving, I carried my thing and left.
Yes.
So I didn't need to go and pretend the receipt and show anybody
somebody accused you of
you would have brought out your receipt.
Yes. You would have brought it out.
Yes.
So it is important.
I don't have a receipt. I didn't keep the receipt.
If you did not, then you would drop it. You would drop because it. You did. Yes. So that's it. That's
said and done.
When you are a leader, you will be above board. Yeah. But let me just throw another comedy side. You see, because I mentioned charms. There's another really funny side that is very relevant because trends are changing. And our leaders are very trendy. So maybe when the previous administration came in, it was brown chairs they were using or one kind of old school couch. Yeah. And this new governor or this new House of Rep member comes into this archaic looking, no, I want to have trimmings of lights. Interior decorator person should come and help me touch up this office. Even if they left the furniture, some people will say, please throw it out. I cannot, what's a tasteless, classless previous administration.
Yeah, you're right.
I want to come and implement my own modern policy.
Yeah, that's a very good point because it reminds me of when they said Trump became president of the United States.
He threw out a lot of disease.
Yes, because for the other people, they're just regular people. But Trump was a billionaire long before. So for him, he thought the White House even looked too small and too local for him.
Let me take this call from Ibrahim. I'm going to break. Ibrahim from K2, thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning, Murayo.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, the other one of the I see that it's stated in the account. So during our training, I get to know that the counting system is one of
something's wrong with our line.
Can you hear me?
It's kind of blurry. No, I can't hear you properly.
Something's wrong with our line.
I think we're having a bit of an issue with the line. But I think we'll have to wrap up on this. But I think generally, we'll take a few, please.
So Emmanuel says, recall the recent, okay, let's take it from here. I think that was Professor Imonaka says, until judiciary refused the accentuation of incentives to derail the criminal investigation and prosecution of these rogue politicians, the financial and physical looting continues. Ogumola says the government is going to appropriate money for new furnishings, whether they are looted or not. Right. If the new furnishings come, where do the old ones go? Miriam is right, this wastage of public funds should be deducted from their illegal pensions. And then Prof continues, says the reckless looting of furniture by politicians reverberates the justification of Nigerians, calling them political bandits. They do this with the collaboration of career criminals in the civil service who mastermind the criminality. And says the bottom line is a thief remains a thief irrespective of the office they occupied.
All right, I mean, as I don't want to reduce the cost of governance, but it would be nice to have one body that handles this kind of furnishing and decorating where it's not your role, it's nobody's role to come in. Every officer doesn't have to buy it. Their job, and then they can sell it, they can even reshuffle and say, okay, you have yours is older, we can use this in the hospital, we can use this in so stuff like that. We can actually have one commission that handles this kind of the resources. Procurement-ish kind of thing. But hey, the state cost of governance. But sometimes we have to rethink how these things are done to make it to be more efficient for everybody. Let's go on a break, right? When we come back, bring in our guest. Stay with us, we'll be right back.